So, usually, when, you know, they just basically give you permission to adapt the song, and but you know what's interesting is that I've never seen any companies release a CD with of all English versions of songs. I would love to see Funimation do that, for instance. They've dubbed a lot of songs into English, themes to different shows. It would be really cool for them to release a CD of a whole bunch of anime themes in English. But again, there's the licensing thing. They may give you permission to sing it for the show, but you're not allowed to sell an audio CD of it. You know, it's a lot of legal hoops to jump through, unfortunately. Yeah.
What inspired you to write music for Japanese?
Well, to be honest with you, the very first one that I wrote was the Dean Angel theme, because I wanted to sing it. I always loved the song. Darkness of light you can. You know that one, right? Yeah. Through the sadness take your flight. Love the song. And so I wanted to sing it, and I thought, well, if I could find a direct translation. And you know what else is funny, you guys? Thank you, sweetheart. Give it up for Elaine. What's really funny, you guys, is that sometimes the lyrics make no sense at all. I mean, Guilty Beauty Love was kind of an exception. You kind of get what he's meaning to say, right? But some of them are like out there. I'm not kidding you. Like Dean Angel, oh my gosh. Like the direct translation, somebody directly translates it. Somebody directly translates it and it says something like, you know, the darkness that was above the night reflected your tenderness in the storm. What? I'm serious. You read it and you're like, what the heck does that mean? And you sit there as a creative, as a writer, and you go, okay, what is he trying to say here? And then you try to write a line that not only captures the essence of what they're trying to say, but also matches the melody, and also has a lyrical quality to it. There's some words you can't really sing, you know? And so sometimes when you see a direct translation, they'll use a word that is accurately what they said, but it doesn't sound as good in English. You know, in Japanese, it maybe has this great flow to it with a certain sequence of, you know, consonants and vowels that just rolls off the tongue, and it sounds so cool. And then, you know, in English, it's some word like, you know, I don't even know, you know, discombobulate or something. And you just, it's not a word you want to sing, you know? Yes? No, not for me. I kind of get a kick out of it. It's really a fun little challenge. And you know what? It's a really great, you guys ought to try it. Anybody in here that is a songwriter or is interested in lyrics or anything would be, it was a lot of fun to take a direct translation of a song and then try to make it fit the melody of the song. It's quite an interesting little game to play. I mean, even if it's not, you know, even if you're not being paid for it, or even if you're not going to release it on a CD, it's a lot of fun to do, and it's a really neat thing. Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's like whenever I hear like the English is such another, like say I hear the Japanese version and then I hear the English, it's like they sound similar, but like it's whenever it's kind of like I hear the English and then whenever I hear the Japanese, I can almost sing all the English. It's actually somewhat cool because I'll be listening to like say brothers, or like brothers in Japanese, and then like I'll be able to I can actually sing it all.
Exactly. Yes.
As of adapting the lyrics like you do occasionally, do you ever try adapting sheet music?
No, actually, I haven't.
You know, there's me.
Yes. That's right. Yes.
I have about 5 more songs.
That's right.
I've tried to send them to the Rangers side.
Right. Yes. Well, one cool thing about music is that actual notation is universal. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. It kind of crosses the language barriers. But I've never tried doing that, but that would be cool. Question? Yes.
You yourself have a music degree, and also also, do you need a music degree in order to work for the major to do this work?
Awesome question. The answer is no to both. No, I do not have a music degree. I'm a weird person. I'm kind of weird. You're like, we knew that already. No, I'll tell you. Can I tell you? You want to hear my music story? How I got started in music? You'll get a kick out of this because a lot of you may be right here in your lives. Gather around, let's tell a story. When I was 17 years old, I was a senior in high school, and I fell in love with a singer-songwriter named Barry Manilow. I just loved his music. I loved his music. There was something very simple, and he wasn't flashy. He was just this guy, kind of a schleppy, skinny, big nose, you know what I mean? Just a guy. But he was an amazing talent, and he would write these amazing songs. And I would hear them, I'm like, I really like this guy. And I would sing his songs, and I bought all these records, and there was something about him that I just really enjoyed. Well, then I found out that a good friend of mine in high school also liked Barry Manilow, and he played the piano. Now, I didn't play the piano. I didn't play anything. I sang a lot, but my friend Jay played the piano. So we decided we were going to write a Barry Manilow song. Jay was going to write the music, and I was going to write the lyric. So we wrote the lamest, cheesiest, sappiest love song ever created. And then what happened was, I started what?
Sing it.
Oh no. No. Shame on you. Is it really? You know what? I do some of it in my concerts. So yeah, if you go online and look at one of my concerts, you'll see it. Anyway, anyway, so here's what happened. I had Jay record himself playing the music, the piano part, on a cassette. A cassette.
I know what that
I know, exactly, right? So I would listen to the cassette all the time, working on the lyric, right? I'm listening in my dorm room, and I went to a boarding school, so I was in this dormitory, and I listened to the song, and trying to write words to it. And then one day I was walking by a little piano practice studio at my school. I don't know if maybe your schools have they look like little closets that they just have a piano in each one, and you go in there, either practice piano or take your instrument and practice. So I was walking by one, and I walked into this room, and I started plinky-plunking on the piano. Well, I don't know how to play the piano. My mom played the piano in church, but I never took any lessons. I don't know anything about the piano. And I started kind of, just tinkering around on the piano. And before I knew it, I had learned how to play the song exactly the way Jay played the song on the cassette that he recorded. And I didn't know anything else, but I did that. And then to make a long story short, I started experimenting more, and I would make mistakes, but they sounded really good. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. I accidentally played the wrong note, but it sounded cool. It turned a major chord into a minor chord. Or it, suspended the fourth, or we get fancy with the theory there, but, or it augmented the chord or something. And so I just kept playing, and before long, I had kind of developed enough of a rudimentary understanding of the piano that I could listen to a song on the radio. And in my mind, I'm going, okay. And I could kind of play it in my mind. And then I would go to a piano and sit down and could play it perfectly, even though I'd never taken taken the sheet music for it or practiced it or anything like that. So I will just say, without question, that any musical ability I have is just a gift from God. It is purely a gift from Him. I didn't study it. I didn't go to school or prepare or take classes. It's just a gift. So I am a kind of an enigma when it comes to music. And now, I've produced 25 or 30 records, and I've written hundreds of songs and music for television commercials and TV themes and instrumental things and millions of different things. And it kind of built off that initial love for Barry Manilow and playing the piano. So I